What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk briefly about ROIs. Whenever I'm getting into a business or an investment, I always like to know what my projected ROI is, and ROI stands for return on investment, and what that means is the amount that you're going to get in return compared to your initial investment amount. For example, if you invest in the stock market, historically the market return is 10% annually, but if you were fortunate enough to invest within the last decade and keep your stocks, then you enjoyed a 30% return. But I like to keep the same mindset when going into any business, and Turo is no different. I have a certain criteria set as far as return on investment that I like to get out of my fleet cars, and if that doesn't match my criteria, then that lets me know that at the time I'm not ready for this car because it just doesn't fit my ROI criteria. And usually when I'm looking to buy a Turo car, I would like to be within the area of 75% to 100% ROI annually. Meaning, for example, if I have $6,000 invested into a car, within that year, I would like to get at least $6,000 back as my return. As I'm getting ready to take one of my cars off the Turo platform, I was just calculating some numbers, and I thought this would be a perfect example to show you guys, my followers on YouTube, how I calculate my return on investment when I'm taking the car off the platform. So this vehicle is my oldest vehicle on my fleet as far as year wise, and it's a 2009 Infiniti G37S. And I've had this car since November of last year, so right about a year. And when I started off buying cheaper cars or older vehicles, I told myself that as money started to come in, I would sell the older vehicles and invest in newer vehicles. Once the car gets past a certain year on Turo, they usually throw it off the platform, or that's what I've heard. I've never really tested it. So I like to stay within the 2013 to 2017 range. I feel like the cars in that range still have a decent amount of miles to where I can put it on the platform, get my money back, and still be able to sell it for a decent price. Now also, make sure you guys stick to the end of this video because I do still have this vehicle. It's not on the Turo platform, but I want to tell you guys what I'm doing with this vehicle right now and how much money it's going to keep making me as I keep this vehicle. So make sure you stick around for that. And as always, guys, if you appreciate this information, me basically opening up my books to you guys and showing you guys all my numbers, you know, a lot of people, they get a really sensitive feeling about this topic, and you know, it's understandable. In our society, we hate talking about money. We hate talking about how much money we got, how much money we're making, how much money we're investing. It just seems like a taboo subject, and that's another reason I created this channel, so I can come on here and openly talk to you guys and, you know, basically tell you guys what's going on with my businesses, what I'm investing in, how much money I'm looking to return, because sometimes I just don't have anybody to talk to these things about. So if you guys appreciate that, make sure you smash the like button, destroy the like button, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a video. Right now I am posting videos weekly, so make sure you guys come back and check out more videos in the future. I would definitely appreciate it. I bought this vehicle out of the dealer auction, and I was expecting to do some work to it besides the body work that needed, and we ended up turning out lucky. We didn't really have to do anything to the motor or the transmission. I actually just paid my body guy about $500, and it had a messed up fender and quarter panel, so we ended up just getting that right, and it only cost us $500. So I actually lucked out in this vehicle, but I can't say that it's my first time lucking out in one of these Nissan product vehicles. These cars seem to have a problem with the key fob losing connection, or sometimes they just won't start for whatever reason. And basically how I get these cars is, let's say somebody's paying a car note on a Infiniti or a Nissan, and one day they notice the car's not starting. Well, they might have somebody come look at it real fast. Now, depending on how certified this mechanic is, they might not be able to correctly diagnose the issue. But long story short, people stop paying their car notes. The finance companies will come and actually repossess the vehicles. Now, of course, the finance companies are not in the game of repairing cars, so usually they'll just take it right to the dealer auction. I purchased this car for a crazy price of around $1,100 with the body work and everything we spent on it was about $2,400. I had this vehicle on the platform since November of last year, so totaling this vehicle made $7,093. Now, adding my purchase price to the price that I actually spent on this car, within the 12 months, I spent $951 on it. Insurance cost was $1,200, bringing my total out-of-pocket cost on this vehicle, the time I had it in my possession, $4,551. Now, if you subtract that from the gross amount that I've made on Turo, and this is already minus Turo's fees, which was $7,093 for the 2019 and 2020 year, brings my in the green net number to $2,542. I still have the vehicle, it's still in my possession, it's in great condition. Miles a little bit high, almost at 180, but with this kind of vehicle, these Japanese cars, people are always willing to buy it and they're always willing to spend the money on it. So they typically hold their value a little bit higher than, let's say, the American cars. I averaged this car out to being able to at least sell for $4,000. So my hypothetical number, $4,000, added on to my net amount, the amount the car has already made, $2,542, you'll see that brings me a $6,542. Now, comparing that to my initial investment of $2,400, you would see that this is almost a 300% return on this vehicle. Those would be the numbers if I was selling this vehicle, but I'm not. I have one of my customers who basically looking for a long-term rental, which I sometimes do with my trusted customers. She's been renting for me for a while, so I decided to throw her in my program. The thing about these customers is they can't just pay for a whole week or 2 weeks, even though they might need the vehicle for a longer time. They're literally getting money day by day, so they need somebody to work with them who's going to take payment day by day. Now, that's very hard to do with a traditional rental company because there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through, and a lot of these people probably can't get approved to even rent cars from the rental company. They don't have the necessary credit to get a low APR or low interest on a vehicle, so they normally just try to buy cheaper cash cars. Now, you know the deal with a lot of these cheap cash cars, they might be on their way out the next day, the next week, or you might not even make it home. She basically doesn't have transportation, so she's been renting cars here and there. So I decided to work with her. You know, we haven't had any problems in the last 3-4 months, so these are usually the customers that I look to form some kind of relationship with, especially if they are looking for something longer term. So I do have a program that I throw my customers in who want to rent longer term, and I'll actually purchase insurance coverage for them. It's collision coverage, it's a third-party company. My cost of insurance daily is $20. She's paying $60 a day for this vehicle. $20 a day is my insurance cost. So out of that $60, I'll get $40 and the insurance company gets $20. So now that we calculated the numbers, hypothetically, if I was to sell the car, let's calculate the new numbers I got on this vehicle moving forward. So now this vehicle is going to be bringing in $280 a week. Every month, that's $1,120. I'd go ahead and take off my insurance off the top because I still do have insurance on this vehicle. So even if we take off that $100, that still puts me right around $1,000 for this vehicle. If you calculate that back into the initial amount that I spent on this vehicle, I'm getting almost a 50% return every single month. So that means even if this customer keeps the vehicle for 2-3 months, the car is literally going to be paying for itself every 2.5 months. Now, at this price right here, the motor could blow on this car. I'm going to put another motor in. Transmission go out, is going to have another transmission in. These kind of customers, I keep them around for the long term. As long as they're willing to spend this money, I'm always going to have a car available for them. I don't care if I got to go out today and buy another car. They're always going to have a car as long as they're always paying. They don't mind not owning the car. They don't mind paying for that. They don't mind paying because it takes off the extra burden from them having to think about repairs or having to think about the car going down or having to think about maintenance. And I'm willing to take that burden for this kind of price. So I just thought I'd come on here and share that with you guys. Crazy numbers, I know. Before I got into the rental game, I would have never believed that people would pay $60 a day for a rental. But guess what? When they're on Turo, if you have a $40 car, really they're paying about $80 a day, and I've had people rent from me on Turo for almost a whole year, and these are really the best kind of customers. They really do make this game feel like it's passive investments, especially when the cars don't require a lot of maintenance. So I'm definitely looking at adding more of these onto my fleet. I'm definitely looking to find more of these customers, but like people keep asking me, where do you find these customers from? There's not one location where they just go and chill. I wish there was. I'd be there all the time. You just find them by jumping in the business and renting cars and word of mouth, and you might run into them, or depending on how you put your advertisers on there, you might find some. There's a whole lot of ways of getting them. You just have to go out there and do something. They're not going to come and fall into your lap. But I do have to say, guys, that when I do buy these vehicles that are not running, I'm always prepared to do the most. Motor, transmission, I always calculate those numbers first just to see if worst case scenario how much I might be into the vehicle. I never look at it as a gamble or hope that everything is going to be working fine. I always expect the worst, and if I don't get the worst, then I find myself in a much better situation. Now, I will give a disclaimer for all you guys thinking about going out there and buying $2,000 cars and flooding them on the platform. Just carefully listen to what I'm saying. I'm not going out there putting hoopties or pieces of crap cars on these streets. I have very tight criteria when I'm looking for cars, and I personally drive the cars around for at least a week myself, running my personal errands, doing what I have to do. I put the cars to the test to make sure that not only are they riding smooth, but they're safe to put guests in. I'm not telling you to go out and buy the cheapest car you can find and try to throw it on Turo just to make some money. And I will also say, as a disclaimer, that I'm also equipped for these situations because I have my shop, we have our own equipment, I do all the work in-house. We always make sure our cars are up to par before we put them on the street. It just so happens that once in a while we'll get really lucky on a cheaper vehicle, but in no way, shape, or form does that mean that this vehicle is a piece of crap. I seriously put these cars through extensive testing before I even think about putting it on the platform or think about putting somebody else in it. So if you want to go out there and buy a hoopty or piece of crap for a couple $1,000s, don't say that I told you to do it, because I'm telling you right now, I didn't tell you to do that. Not at all. I just thought I'd come on here and share that with you guys. And as always, if you guys appreciate these videos, you appreciate me doing this, the way to repay me back is to like this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It helps to support me. It supports my channel. Hit that notification bell. Watch my videos when I drop them. And that's all I ask from you guys. So once again, I appreciate you joining me, and I will see you very soon.